Data is powering the life cycle of advice. It's behind the scenes of all the great financial planning and wealth management going on. I'm joined today by Anil, Arora, and also Mike Capelle. Gentlemen, welcome. So Anil, start the conversation for me and explain this to me a little bit about what is data and how does it really power all this great stuff with financial planning?
Well, it's really driven by consumer needs, and I think that what Mike and I have both based our visions on is how do we meet changing client expectations, and one of the things clients ask for is a holistic view to manage their lives, financial planning and advice. And so in the background, what data aggregation does is it cuts across different holdings that you might have across a grand total of 14,500 institutions.
Wow.
And gathers your account information, your transactions, puts it in a dashboard that's just about you. And that's what we do with data aggregation.
Now, Mike, you can talk to us a little bit about how this works in United Capital and how you're really using data to power everything you're doing over there.
Sure, yeah. We use data aggregation to work with clients to be able to pull in outside accounts that we're not currently managing. And we do it in a couple of different cases. We do it with existing clients where they want to share with us as part of the planning process other assets they have, and they want to be able to pull that in automatically, not have to go through a process of doing manual updates on that and bringing in statements and so on. And then secondly, we have in our FlexScore offering, it's a self-directed online planning system. We had a need there to solve for because we had a consumer retail facing presence that we needed to fulfill aggregation around. And that's where we went and looked for a solution there, and we ended up working with Yodlee to solve for that part of it.
It's interesting. So talk to me a little bit about how all this data is reconciled and how important that is.
So over the last 16 years, what we've done is we built connectivity and direct pipes into the majority of financial institutions that we get data from. And around 75% of all the data we have is through this network of pipes that we built into major financial institutions. We get that data and it's all kinds of different languages. It might as well be French and German and Japanese. So you have to cleanse it, you have to normalize it, you have to enrich it, because sometimes it's, if you look at a transaction, it's a bunch of gobbledygook. So we go through that process, and now with Envestnet and the partnership we have, we're taking that a step further and actually reconciling that data to be trade ready, which is really important from an investment point of view and what we are enabling for our customers like Mike and United Capital, what they can do with that data.
So Mike, talk to me, what are you doing with all this data?
Yeah, we use it as part of the planning process with clients, so we need to really understand all the resources that they have, right? And we want to make that process as easy as possible. Also, we have, you do have consumer, retail folks that do come across your site, right? And in those cases, we want to be able to provide value to them online. And so give them the ability to go and in a self-directed way be able to pull that information together to start to build a plan. Another really key part of the planning process where it's helpful is when you're trying to figure out budgeting for a client. A lot of times you talk to clients and they really don't know exactly where they're spending, and by using aggregation you can pull that in automatically, have it automatically categorized, and really get a good picture of where they are actually spending money.
So Neil, does this enable advisors, like advisors at United Capital, to really balance that high tech and high touch with their clients?
Exactly, and that's the game of the future. Different segments have different needs, as Mike alluded to. You might have some that you're working with directly through their offerings, some who are working through advisors. Within that, there are different segments, some who want only high touch, some who want a combination. And as long as you have the right tools and you have the right data, you can address that. And our job here is to really be the enabler with data to the solutions that United Capital is building.
So Mike, last question, what's next now for United Capital with this kind of data powered behind you? What's in the future? What are you guys going to do next?
Well, I mean, we're excited about a few things, just more near term on the Yodlee Envestnet partnership and the integration going on there. We've been a long time customer of Envestnet. That's our core portfolio accounting solution. So seeing the roadmap they have for further integration, we're really looking forward to see how that plays out and allows us to have a consumer retail facing solution that ultimately can can feed into our core accounting systems, be able to then do performance on outside holdings, things like that. It can really change the dialogue that you have, especially with prospective clients, about where they're currently at, what's currently happening with those outside accounts, and be able to provide some recommendations and guidance around it.
It's incredibly exciting, everything here with data aggregation, and it gives advisors and ultimately clients too a real leg up. Gentlemen, thank you so much. That was really interesting. Thank you.
Thank you.
For Investment News, I'm Matt Ackerman.